Dear friend, when we talk about chosen ones, we are referring to souls who have been endowed with unique gifts and abilities. These people often shine like beacons in the midst of darkness, bringing comfort, guidance, and inspiration to those around them. These abilities are not merely worldly talents such as playing an instrument or speaking well in public, but are spiritual gifts that transcend the ordinary. I'm James. My own search for meaning and purpose began when I was feeling lost, yearning for a deeper connection with life. On that journey, I learned that there is immense value in sharing experiences and learning from those of others. On my spiritual journey, I have had the opportunity to meet several individuals who I consider to be true chosen ones. I remember one woman who had an extraordinary capacity for healing. She didn't need tools or medication. Her touch and presence were enough to relieve pain and bring peace. At first, she didn't understand the extent of her gift and thought that everyone had the same ability. It was only through spiritual guidance and self-knowledge that she recognized her uniqueness and accepted her role as a blessing to others. The chosen ones, like this woman, are true gifts to humanity. They have the ability to see beyond the material and access higher dimensions of consciousness. This makes them sources of wisdom and compassion, capable of guiding others on their own spiritual journeys. Remember Paul's words in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7. To each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. This passage reminds us that spiritual gifts are meant to serve and benefit the community as a whole. I invite you to reflect on your own life and identify whether you or someone close to you possesses these special abilities. Don't underestimate the little signs. Sometimes a gift can manifest itself in subtle ways. Perhaps you have a keen intuition that always guides you in the right direction. Or maybe you have the gift of gab, able to console and inspire those in pain. Recognizing these abilities is only the first step. The next is to accept and embrace your role as a chosen one. This involves not only using your gifts, but also cultivating them through spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and scripture study. It is essential that you stay connected to your spiritual source so that you can continue to be a channel of blessings for others. In addition, I encourage you to share your experiences and skills with others. Often the chosen ones isolate themselves, fearing that they won't be understood or accepted. However, it is through sharing that we can truly fulfill our purpose. Remember Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Your light is necessary and must be shared. However, it is not always easy to carry the burden of being a chosen one, as they often face challenges and obstacles that put them to the test. Carrying the burden of being a chosen one is an arduous and often lonely task. Those who are blessed with special gifts and abilities often face challenges and obstacles that test their strength, resilience, and faith. The journey of a chosen one is marked by trials that can seem insurmountable, requiring a deep level of self-knowledge and inner strength. To begin with, it's important to understand that the chosen are not immune to life's difficulties. On the contrary, they often face even greater obstacles precisely because of their gifts. These challenges can come in the form of criticism, misunderstanding, envy, and even loneliness. As Jesus mentioned in Matthew chapter 5, verse 11, "Blessed are you when they revile you and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake." This verse is a reminder that the chosen are often subject to trials and ordeals. One of the greatest challenges the chosen face is the weight of responsibility. Verse 28, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called by his decree." This verse teaches us that even in difficulties, there is a divine purpose that works for the good of the chosen. The challenges faced by the chosen also serve to purify and refine their gifts. Just as gold is refined in the fire, the chosen are shaped and strengthened through their trials. Each obstacle overcome is an opportunity for spiritual growth and a chance to deepen their connection with the divine. Through these experiences, the chosen learn to trust their faith more fully, to develop greater empathy and understanding for others, and to become more compassionate and effective leaders. Finally, it is essential that the chosen ones remember that they are not alone in their journey. There is a community of faith and support that can offer encouragement, wisdom, and strength. Prayer, meditation, and seeking spiritual advice are vital tools for navigating life's challenges. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11, we are exhorted to put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. In short, being chosen is both a blessing and a burden. The challenges and obstacles faced are opportunities to grow, become stronger and more aligned with God's purpose. With faith, resilience, and community support, the chosen can overcome any adversity and fulfill their role as beacons of light and hope in the world. It's important to remember that blessings and curses are intrinsically linked, because often what brings us light can also bring us shadows. Light, in its essence, is the symbol of clarity, wisdom, and divine guidance. It is what warms us, guides us, and fills us with hope. However, that same light can create shadows. Shadows in turn represent our fears, doubts, and inner challenges. They are not necessarily negative, but they are parts of us that need to be recognized and integrated. Just as the sun casts shadows by illuminating, our blessings can bring to light areas of our lives that need attention and healing. Consider the story of Job, told in the Old Testament. Job was a man blessed with wealth, family, and health. However, he was tested by the loss of everything he had. Through his trials, Job discovered a deeper faith and a richer understanding of his spirituality. This example illustrates how blessings and curses can be intertwined, guiding us towards deeper spiritual growth. When embracing our blessings, we must be aware of the shadows they can create. For example, someone who possesses the gift of leadership may find themselves challenged by the weight of responsibility and the loneliness that often accompanies this position. Leadership can bring light and inspiration to many, but it can also cast shadows of doubt and self-criticism. Recognizing this duality is essential if we are to use our gifts in a balanced and compassionate way. Spiritual wisdom teaches us that the challenges and obstacles we encounter are actually disguised opportunities for learning and growth. When we face a shadow, we are being called to integrate a part of ourselves that has not yet been fully accepted or understood. This process of integration makes us stronger and more whole. The scriptures remind us in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, "For everything there is an occasion, and a time for every purpose under heaven." This verse shows us that life is made up of cycles of light and shade, of blessings and challenges. Each phase has its purpose and its lesson. Accepting this truth allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of life with more grace and resilience. As a spiritual mentor, it is crucial to encourage the chosen ones to see beyond the immediate appearances of situations. We must guide them to recognize that the greatest blessings often come in the most unexpected forms, and that challenges are stepping stones to greater spiritual growth. Encourage them to embrace both the light and the shadow, knowing that both are necessary for a full and meaningful life. As a spiritual mentor, one of the most important lessons I've learned over the years is the responsibility that comes with spiritual gifts. The chosen ones, those who possess unique and special abilities, are blessed with a meaningful mission: to use these gifts wisely and compassionately for the benefit of everyone around them. This is a noble calling and, at the same time, a challenge that requires discernment, empathy, and a deep sense of purpose. My own spiritual journey has taught me that in recognizing our gifts, we also need to understand the responsibility they bring. I remember an occasion when I was led to help a community that was facing emotional and spiritual difficulties. Using my gift of spiritual guidance required not only knowledge, but also attentive listening and an open heart. It was a process of giving and receiving. In offering my support, I also received the learning and growth that came from the experience of helping others. The chosen ones are like fruit trees in a garden. If a tree bears fruit, it is its natural duty to nourish those who feed on it. However, for that tree to continue to bear fruit, it also needs to be cared for, watered, and given sunlight. In the same way, the chosen ones must seek a balance between giving and receiving. It's not just a question of offering their gifts to the world, recognizing that their abilities come from a greater source and that they should be used for the good of all. The journey of the chosen ones is full of challenges and blessings, and one of the most essential aspects of this path is the constant practice of humility and gratitude. As beings endowed with special gifts and abilities, The chosen have a greater responsibility that goes beyond their own lives. They are channels of a higher force, and it is crucial that they recognize this divine origin of their abilities. Humility, in its essence, is not underestimating oneself, but recognizing the true source of power and wisdom. The chosen ones must be aware that they are not the creators of their gifts, but rather the bearers. This understanding promotes a posture of service and not pride. In Proverbs 15:33 we read, "The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor goes humility." This verse reminds us that true wisdom and honor come through the humble recognition of our dependence on a greater source. Furthermore, gratitude is a fundamental pillar in the journey of the chosen. Gratitude opens doors to a life that is fuller and more connected to divine purpose. When we express gratitude, we not only recognize the blessings we have received, but we also cultivate a positive attitude that attracts more blessings. In Ephesians 5:20, Paul instructs us to constantly give thanks to God the Father for all things in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. This act of continual gratitude keeps us aligned with the source of our being and reminds us of our mission to serve. Humility and gratitude go hand in hand and are indispensable if the chosen are to use their gifts wisely and compassionately. When we remember that our abilities come from a greater source, we are more likely to use them for the common good rather than for personal gain. This is a crucial point. Gifts are not for our own self-promotion, but for the edification of everyone around us. In Matthew 23:11, Jesus teaches us, "The greatest among you will be your servant." This is a clear call for the chosen ones to use their gifts in service to others. Practicing humility and gratitude also helps the chosen to stay balanced. Life can bring ups and downs, but those who are rooted in gratitude and humility are more resilient. They understand that both victories and challenges are opportunities to grow and serve better. This balance is vital so that the chosen ones don't get carried away by ego or hopelessness. In addition, the practice of humility and gratitude creates an environment of peace and harmony around the chosen ones. They become beacons of light, attracting positivity and inspiring others to follow a path of kindness and service. This positive influence is part of the legacy that the chosen ones leave in the world, a legacy that is built not just by what they do, but by who they are. Those who see the chosen ones as curses are only reflecting their own shadows and insecurities, because light always bothers those who prefer to live in darkness. Let's first understand the concept of chosen in the spiritual context. Being chosen means having a special mission, extraordinary gifts, and a significant role in spreading light and love. However, this light can provoke adverse reactions in some people. When someone sees a chosen one as a curse, they are actually projecting their own shadows and insecurities. Let's explore this dynamic in more depth. The light of the chosen reveals hidden truths. In John chapter 3, verse 20, we read, "For everyone who does evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." The presence of a chosen one often exposes the flaws, fears, and insecurities of others. This can be uncomfortable, especially for those who are not ready to confront their own shadows. Insecurity in itself is a shadow, an aspect that many prefer to keep hidden. When a chosen one shines, that shadow is illuminated, and the natural reaction for some is resistance or rejection. In addition, the presence of a chosen one can provoke envy. The extraordinary gifts and abilities of the chosen ones are blessings, but they can also be seen as threats by those who feel inadequate or less favored. Instead of perceiving the gifts of the chosen as opportunities for learning and growth, some prefer to see them as curses that highlight their own shortcomings. This is a clear manifestation of insecurity. Let's remember Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30. "A peaceful heart gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones." The chosen ones, for their part, must understand this dynamic and respond with compassion. It is essential that they realize that the resistance they face is not a reflection of their own inadequacy, but of the internal challenges of those around them. Standing firm in the light and continuing the mission with love and patience is crucial. In Romans chapter 12, verse 21, Paul exhorts us, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. For those who observe the chosen ones and feel discomfort or resistance, this is an invitation to introspection. Ask yourself, why does the presence of this being bother me? What aspects of myself am I avoiding? How can I transform this resistance into personal growth? True spiritual transformation begins with accepting our own shadows and being willing to work on them. It is also crucial that the spiritual community offers support to both the chosen and those struggling with their shadows. A welcoming and understanding environment can facilitate acceptance and growth. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2, we are reminded to practice all humility and gentleness with long-suffering, bearing with one another in love. It is important that the chosen ones connect with their divine essence and remain faithful to their higher purpose, even in the face of adversity and criticism. Dear spiritual friends, all of us at some point face the call to discover and connect with our divine essence. For the chosen ones, this connection is even more crucial. The divine essence is the core of who we are, the point of light that guides us on our journey. Staying true to this essence, especially in times of adversity and criticism, is one of the most significant challenges that the chosen ones face. The first stage of this connection is self-discovery. I remember a time in my life when I felt lost, as if the responsibilities and pressures of the outside world had obscured my inner vision. It was through meditation and prayer that I began to hear again that subtle, loving voice that resides within us all. In the Bible, in Psalms 46:10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." This verse brought me great comfort and clarity, reminding me that by silencing the noise outside, we can hear divine guidance. For the chosen, this guidance is particularly vital because their actions have a profound impact on the world around them. Staying true to one's higher purpose requires not only self-knowledge, but also courage and resilience. It's natural to encounter criticism and adversity along the way. I remember when I first started sharing my visions and teachings, not everyone was ready to accept them. There was resistance and skepticism. However, as Jesus said in Matthew 5:11, "Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake." This teaching reminds us that adversity is an expected part of the spiritual path. The connection with the divine essence is like the trunk of a tree that supports and nourishes all the branches. Without this connection, the chosen ones can feel disoriented and exhausted. This is why spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and selfless service are so important. They not only reconnect us with our essence, but also strengthen us to face challenges with grace and compassion. I encourage all of you to make a conscious effort to connect with this essence. Set aside time each day to reflect, meditate, and listen to your inner voice. It's not an easy task, but the fruits of this practice are immeasurable. When we are aligned with our divine purpose, we are able to overcome criticism and adversity with a serenity that can only come from spirit. Sharing our experiences is also a powerful form of connection. By opening our hearts and telling our stories, we create a network of mutual support and understanding. On my journey, I have found great solace and inspiration in the stories of those who have walked similar paths. So I encourage you to share your experiences, whether they are of triumph or struggle. Together, we can strengthen each other and deepen our connection with the divine. Remember, dear chosen ones, that you are not alone. The journey may be difficult, but every step you take in fidelity to your greater purpose is a beacon of light for the world. May we all stay connected to our divine essence and continue to walk with faith, love, and courage. The journey of the chosen ones is not always easy, but it is rewarding, as they have the opportunity to make a difference and leave a legacy of love and compassion. This truth resonates deeply in the hearts of those who feel called to a greater purpose. Being a chosen one means taking on a mission that transcends the ego and aligns with the common good. And although this journey is full of challenges, it also offers invaluable spiritual and emotional rewards. Imagine, for a moment, the life of Moses, one of the great chosen ones of the Bible. He was called by God to free the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt. Moses faced countless difficulties, from the resistance of Pharaoh to the constant complaints of his own people. However, he remained faithful to his mission, guided by a higher power, and in the end, left a legacy of freedom and faith that echoes to this day. In the same way, each chosen one has a unique journey which, despite the obstacles, can result in a lasting and transformative impact. The challenges faced by the chosen are often intense and can come from all directions: familial, social, and even spiritual. However, it is in these moments of adversity that the true nature and purpose of the chosen are revealed. Facing and overcoming these challenges strengthens the spirit, broadens compassion, and deepens wisdom. This is reflected in Romans 8:17, where Paul writes, "And if we are children, then we are also heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified with him." The reward is not just material or visible. It manifests itself in the form of spiritual growth, inner fulfillment, and the deep satisfaction of knowing that one is fulfilling a greater purpose. Every act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, every word of wisdom spoken by the chosen one has the power to touch lives, inspire change, and bring light where there is darkness. This is the true essence of the reward, the ability to be a channel of blessing for the world. In addition, the journey of the chosen ones is often marked by moments of enlightenment and deep spiritual connection. These are the moments when the divine presence is felt most intensely, when the chosen one feels most aligned with the universe and with the purpose to which they have been called. These experiences not only renew faith and hope, but also strengthen the determination to continue the journey, regardless of the difficulties encountered along the way. Ultimately, the legacy left by the chosen ones is a powerful testimony to what is possible when you live with an open heart and a soul committed to good. This legacy of love and compassion serves as a source of inspiration for future generations, encouraging others to follow their own paths of light and purpose. In the end, the journey of the chosen ones is a divine dance between challenges and rewards, shadows and light, always guided by the loving hand of a greater force. May all those who feel called find strength and inspiration in the stories of the great chosen ones of the past and present. May they recognize that, despite the difficulties, the journey is worthwhile, because each step taken with love and compassion contributes to an eternal legacy of light and transformation.